Hello and welcome to the Connect Podcast, a podcast by the Holdrege Area Chamber of Commerce. Hey, thank you again for joining us at the Connect Podcast, a podcast by the Holdrege Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today with Bebensee. You know him from the board here at the Chamber. You know him from Glenwood Telecommunications, and you probably have seen him all over town. Brett, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
We're
at the drive.
Yeah, you can't see it, I'm sure, but in front of us we've got some treats, a couple of drinks.
That's right.
Behind us you can see the lovely vibe here at the drive. We're really excited to jump in, but before we get into the interview, let's try a couple of these drinks, yeah?
Yes, let's do it.
So what did you get? Yours was called the...
I got the Malibu Barbie.
Malibu Barbie.
I'm ready for this.
And I've got the chocolate espresso martini. And so mine's got coffee beans. Yours has got a lime.
Mine's got a lot. Yeah, it's the signature drink here.
Let's check it out. Oh, that's good.
Now that is like beach level style. I like that.
We were talking before we started. Neither of us have really, we've tried maybe, but we're not really martini guys.
No.
We've not really been deep in the world of martinis. And so...
Unless my James Bond film history counts, this would be my first shaken martini.
You did tell her shaken, not stirred.
I did tell her, yes.
And then I also have one of their paninis. So one of the things you can get here at the drive that's a special is panini. They've got Score One, turkey, and I got a Caprese Panini. So we're gonna try this out here. That is fantastic.
It smells amazing.
That is great. That is great.
Kettle chips too.
And the kettle cooked chips. And Brett, he overindulged at lunch today at Rotary, so he decided against the snack today. But shout out to the drive. Thank you so much for hosting us, having us here at the drive, and also supplying us with some delicious drinks and food. So really excited to get started. Brett, before we talk too much about all the fun stuff that is in your world, tell us a little bit about how your journey was and how you got to where you're at now at Glenwood.
Man, that could take up the whole time, but I'll give you we'll trim the fat and give you the bone version. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm actually born and raised Hildreth, Nebraska, so 25 minutes, just a little south and east there. So graduated from Wilcox Hildreth, went to UNK. I worked with Target for 11 years, all the way from regular team member, electronics specialist, to team lead, executive leader. Then we moved out to Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming, for about a year and a half. My wife did not like that.
Sure.
I took her away from Nebraska. So, but the goal was to go out there and get my own store. But, we had our first kid out there, Oliver, and decided to get closer to family. That's when I found that the Shopko here in town, miss it, was looking for a new store manager, applied for that, got that. Ran Shopko for a few years, and then I kind of got reached out to by Marshalls. They were looking for a new store manager with the store. They just opened like 6 months, and then the store manager that was there left, and reached out to me, and I decided to take that. Obviously, it wasn't a bad decision because about a month after I left Shopko, they did end up announcing bankruptcy, and I would say about another 6 to 8 months after that, they were all closed in the United States. So, except for a Shopko Optical in Grand Island, it's still open. But no, I did that, and then I was kind of like, you know what? I want to get back to somewhere in Holdrege. I really want to be able to do that. And I saw the Y was looking for the branch executive director, and that was really scary for me because I've been in retail for 17 years.
Right.
I mean, since I was 16, it was a different world, nonprofit, and. I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than being able to work at the Y and see so many different facets to what you can impact in your community, whether that's through youth sports, after-school program, adult sports, the gym, the facility, outreach. I mean, I got more acquainted and on the chamber through the Y, so I'm very thankful for that. But then, you know, that urge to get back into that competitive market came back, and saw that Glenwood was looking for sales. I mean, my dad was a salesman for, I don't know, 30 some years with heating and air stuff, you know, at Anderson Brothers Comfort Products. And I've always been told I got a way with words. Sure. And so I decided to go with Glenwood. I loved the fact that they were coming to town, that they were investing in Holdrege, that they wanted to overbuild with fiber. I thought that was cool. The moment that was announced, I was on the website and in line to get the fiber. So when I saw that position opened up, I took that opportunity to go to Glenwood, and that's where I'm at. And I'll be honest, I have not had, as much fun. I get to travel a lot. Yeah. I get to talk to people. That's my job. Like, I get to talk to people. I get to promote our products and services. Like, I mean, that is literally what I get to do. All my other jobs, every job that I've had up till now has built me to be the way I am. Now I get to do that on a daily basis, and I don't get to just do that in Holdrege, though I do stay probably a couple more days in Holdrege than most other places, but I do go out, I hit Superior, Hebron, Geneva, Edgar, Exeter, Sutton, Clay Center. I'm in every one of those towns every week. So I enjoy the fact that I get to travel. Like I told my wife one day, it's like I'm Aragon. I get to run around the Lord of the Rings area all the time. I enjoy that. I'm a nerd, first and foremost.
We know.
So, making that little hint is like, hey, I get to get my little rucksack and get moseying around. Honestly, Glenwood's been amazing. It's been amazing ride so far.
So I was gonna say, it helps to bring joy to your job when you're selling a product that is actually a great product, and Glenwood Fiber is.
It's phenomenal.
One of the questions I had, you've obviously been involved in this community a ton, through the YMCA, through the esports stuff, through the Shopko thing. What do you think you've taken from those past jobs that help you in your current job to better serve Holdrege?
I mean, just take retail. We'll just break it into the two sectors I've been in. Take retail, for instance, very customer focused, but being in those higher positions, it's more about, the bottom line. Mm-hmm. It's about, managing your financials and stuff like that.
Yep.
Then you get to the Y, nonprofit. It's all about being able to work with, sponsors and donors. Like, you're going there and asking for these people to donate to the Y.
Yeah.
And guess what? You have to be responsible with that. So those two kind of examples is, in my current role, like, I have to go out and know that what I am talking to them, I can deliver, just like with the donors' money. I have no problem going out and talking about our fiber, our hosted phones, because guess what? They are tried and true. And we got IT guys that have, like Dylan, the hosted IT. He has been doing this over a decade. He's younger than me. He's been doing it for a decade. Guy is a genius. And like, he's tested out all these phones and lines, and he does what works well with our stuff. So I have no problem going out there and being like, this stuff I'm selling is top of the line. It's great. And at the end of the day, I'm not necessarily going to sell you a product equipment. I'm selling you a service.
Yeah.
It's not about just getting you fiber. It's about, when you need Glenwood, we're there for you.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing I think a lot of people, is that communication. Like, I'm an English major, which is weird. Retail, nonprofit, now telecommunications. I'm an English major with a minor in writing, creative writing, and a minor in pop culture.
Yeah.
So what does that do for me? And realistically, English really helped me focus on communicating effectively. Now, not just sitting here talking to you.
Right.
I mean, this is easy. But like, how do you communicate effectively through email, through text, through calls, through Teams, through messengers, all that stuff? Because here's the thing that I've told a lot of people when it comes to communication. The way you present yourself in person, so you know me, you know how I talk and act and stuff like that. If I'm an a-hole to you all the time, and if I text you, even if I'm trying to be nice, how are you going to read that? You're going to read that like, oh, Brett's mad at me over on this text.
Is he being an a-hole right now?
So I always tell people, when you're chatting in person and stuff like that, that is, your personality is also your digital impression. Because we always say it's hard to convey a message over email or a text. Well, it's hard because that person, how they think of you, is actually how they're going to read that email.
Yeah.
So if you're always upbeat, happy, and positive, they're going to be like, even if you send them a text message like, hey, we need to talk. Oh, cool. we must be talking about this cool event coming up.
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh my gosh, he wants to talk, like, what's going to happen tonight? You know, it's a completely different tone. So your in-person impression is also your digital impression. And you got to make sure you take care of both.
One of the things you mentioned, and it might have been before we even started recording, so forgive me if I'm jumping the gun here, but you talked a lot about local. Obviously, you're from around here, and you might have left, but you're one of the population that left and came back, which is a lot of the population that are here. What does local mean to you?
Well, you know, real quick, just a little funny, I guess, is when you hear people from like bigger cities say, "Oh, rural," and then they automatically go Lincoln and Omaha. I'm in there. I'm like, no, rural is a dirt road with houses every mile or two. What local means to me is not necessarily like a local town or that. It's the local people.
Yeah.
You have people in this town that have been here, or their family has been here since day one or day 10, year 50, whatever that may be. And they continue to invest. When I was at the Y, like there are people that donated, and it's not because they love the Y. I mean, of course they love the Y, but they love the fact that how the Y is impacting local, and that's how they feel that he best can impact local too. And at the end of the day, it's all about the people. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You know just as well as I do, it's the people that make it. And what you want, I believe, and I'm glad you touched on that, was when you leave, go to college, experience it, learn something new, learn something great, and come back. And now you're contributing back to this community and making it that much better. I mean, we do our grocery shopping here. I do all our oil changes here. Yep. We eat local here. I mean, I know my brother will come down from Kearney to eat at Caprese. They have a lot of Hispanic restaurants up there.
Yeah, a ton.
Like a ton. But he comes to Holdrege to eat at Caprese.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what we want more of.
Yeah.
That local atmosphere. And I'll tell you what, Jesse down at Caprese, like he is phenomenal. He makes you feel welcome. And
does a good job.
He does an amazing job.
Yeah.
Along with the rest of the restaurants in town.
Absolutely. So speaking a little bit about your role at Glenwood.
Yeah.
I actually talk about this quite often, but how important it is for small towns to have access to fiber.
Yeah.
Well, internet in general, and then we're going to get away from being able to do anything outside of fiber with internet, with all of the streaming and stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
What do you have to say and speak on small towns and how they can benefit on something like fiber and internet in general?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, why should someone in Lincoln and Omaha who has fiber all the time be able to outperform someone out here in Holdrege or in Hildreth or Geneva, Hebron, Superior? Those places have businesses just as important. I mean, you got Holdrege Irrigation here that has our fiber, that has multiple places around, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And it's in a lot of small towns. Mm-hmm. So my thought is, shouldn't they be able to perform with equipment just as much? It's not so much about, getting you the fastest speed. Right. It's about getting you the equipment and the tools to be able to do what you need to do. Yeah. Everything runs off the internet. Holdrege is our furthest west. Our furthest east is Exeter. And we just overbuilding them. We're going to be finishing up here probably in about 2-3 weeks. But at the end of the day, like these people, these towns, these businesses, these residents that work from home deserve to have that high-speed internet that a lot of other places have, like Lincoln and Omaha.
Yeah.
Nothing against Lincoln and Omaha.
No,
love visiting them, but I mean, it's having that competitive edge because your business deserves every reason to succeed. Yeah. And you know that the great thing too is some businesses won't even look at a place if they don't have fiber now.
Yeah.
Guess what? Holdrege has fiber. Yeah. It's not a deterrent anymore. Not that it's the sole decision. No. But now it's like, oh, they got fiber? That's great.
It's definitely part of the infrastructure. And I don't think people understand the amount of headquarters for some of these national businesses that live right here in Holdrege.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's vital to some of those businesses. I mean, Embecta, for example, they produce the world's diabetic needle. Yeah. So people's health relies on your fiber when it comes to
Almond Brothers, too. Like, they need that fiber to do it. Exactly everything runs off fiber or internet, however you want to look at it. But at the end of the day, the internet is more of it is just as essential of a utility.
Yeah.
Even though it's not classified as a utility, like your water pipes and your electricity, and electricity is really up there because that runs everything. But
even phone calls now are over.
VoIP phones. That's what we sell. It's voice over IP. That's what I sell to businesses, and it's over the internet. Mm-hmm. And the best thing is, internet is so fast and so clear when it comes to those phones that it's like you're talking to the person sitting right next to you. I mean,
that's amazing.
I just love the fact that Glenwood got over to Holdrege and invested into this place, because we are invested in Holdrege, and we're going to continue to invest and help grow Holdrege in the way that we can, and that's continuous growth through our services.
Well, and speaking of, one of the big questions I want to ask about Glenwood is, what do you think is something you guys offer that other fiber companies maybe don't?
Well, you're going to love the fact that when you call Glenwood, you're going to get a person that lives in Nebraska, local Nebraska, rural Nebraska. We have people that answer the phone. Bree, Lori, Jason, Robin, Dawn, to Kaylin.
I just talked to Jason recently, so he's not lying. These are real first names.
Yeah, these are the first names of every single one of our CSRs that you will get if you call. Now, after hours, they go home, they have a life. We have our third party that does that, next door neighbor, Iowa. But at the end of the day, we offer top-notch customer service. And that isn't meaning I don't want people to think, oh, that's the fallback. You always fall back on customer service, but I can prove it. All my businesses and clients I have direct access to me.
Yeah.
They can call me day or night. I mean, I've had it happen. When we talk about customer service, we're right there. And the fact is that our mission is to grow rural Nebraska.
Yeah.
That's what we offer that a lot of places don't. And you know what? Even some of the places we're in, we got people coming right behind us trying to put their fiber in because they're like, oh man, we've been in this community, but we haven't kept it updated. We haven't been taking care of it. Now you have a competitor come in, us, and put fiber in right away.
Yeah. I just have to say, this martini is
my gosh. I didn't know Malibu Barbie would be this delicious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is good.
And you can't see my plate, but this whole interview, I have demolished this panini.
He's lucky I talk a lot so he can eat.
Brett, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, you're an esports coach.
Yes.
And I think that's the most interesting thing in the world. Esports was starting to gain popularity when I was growing up. And it was something that most video gamers like myself were like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing. Tell me how that started.
So I was at the Y, and Dylan at the school, the activities director, I mentioned something to him in passing one time. If you guys ever want to get that going, just reach out. And lo and behold, he reached out one time. And our first bring back meeting, as I would call it, we had over 40 kids show up. I'm talking football players, basketball. Any student category you can think of was there. And gaming back in our day, and I can say that now, we're over a certain age.
Yeah.
We won't disclose that. Back in our day, if you were gaming, it was a very niche thing. It wasn't so worldly wide accepted.
Right.
Now you see Grandma Betty sitting there on her phone playing Candy Crush. It's everywhere now. The stuff that esports focuses on is more of your competitive aspect. So we're not, sitting there, gaming on Candy Crush. But, we are focused on more of that competitive aspect. And that brings every single kind of thing that, another competitive sport will bring. You have to have the sportsmanship. You have to understand the rules and how you're going to do that. But I'm a huge gamer. I beat Super Mario Bros. The first time when I was 4.
Stop.
I did. Full disclosure, I did use the warp pipes and warp to level 8.
Hey, that's still winning.
But
I don't care.
I have proof. My sister and mom sat there and watched me do it. Literally, they were standing behind the couch just sitting there. Now, granted, I did watch my brothers play a lot.
No, that's okay.
And that's where my, gaming addiction career started. Esports is an interesting sport, activity, whatever you want to classify it as. Because these kids, just like any technology, they're coming in with more knowledge than I do sometimes.
Can't even imagine.
And I do a lot of research before every season to make sure I'm up to snuff on all that stuff. But the talent of some of these kids, I got an 8th grader this year that is going to be playing at high school level, but he is like a prodigy. Biggie Cheese, Dane Sidel.
Yes.
He plays. He helps. We do a YMCA esports.
Yeah.
He helps co-teach that with me or run it, and he's getting paid to play at a college level.
You say he got a scholarship.
He got a scholarship to play at a college level.
That is incredible.
It's an amazing thing. Anything to help pay for your college.
Yeah.
These kids, this 8th grader that I have coming up, he is being heralded as a prodigy by Dane. Wow. In the same game he's playing, Smash Brothers.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm sitting here, Dane's telling me, you better recruit him. I'm like, he's already recruited. But it was one of those things that it was literally like, this kid will go places. By the time he's a senior, he could easily sign on to a college.
That's incredible.
Because here's the thing. You want to talk about low investment but high income? You can stream this and charge, $5 to watch the stream.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a ton of people that watch it. As long as you got the hype. College is probably where the biggest is at. But at the end of the day, there's an income there, and that's how, a lot of these professional esports do it.
Yeah.
And this 8th grader he's the real deal. I got a senior this year that he's really good too. He can definitely he'll probably make state. I mean, it's solos this year.
Oh yeah.
Both of them will make state, but I have high hopes for them.
Yeah.
Anyone can be beaten on a given day, but they both have the ability to make state. When we that first semester we brought it back, Brooklyn Thorell and Mason Clements. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I say that right. They went to state for Fortnite. They were seeded number 1 in our division. Mm-hmm. And we went there. We lost our first game, but then they crawled all the way back and won 3rd place. On the way home, one of them said, "This is the first medal I got in high school."
Oh, that's incredible.
And that was just sitting there, just makes me feel like, you know what? We were able to offer that kind of experience, because I'm going to be honest, you don't get a ton of wins in the real world.
Right.
They come very few and far between.
Right.
So in high school, it doesn't matter if it's esports or it's football state championship. Take the win when you can.
That's exactly right.
And you know what? Like, I've had a lot of kids come up to me during the seasons and go, they're doing this sport or this activity, and they're like, "Oh, well, I really want to do it." And I was like, "You've already committed to that activity. Don't leave that activity. Don't leave that sport. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to bring a program for the kids that would never be on an activity or a program." And I invite all kids to do it.
Right.
If you can do, one acts and esports, or you can do wrestling and esports, do it. But I want to make sure that everyone has that opportunity to win.
Yes.
I can't guarantee a win, but I can guarantee you the opportunity to win.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed anything, but as long as you have the opportunity, you've had that chance to make it.
Yes. One of the things I'm super passionate about is kids, right?
Yeah.
I've got 4 of my own, but also I regularly go to the high school and the middle school and talk to, aspiring entrepreneurs or kids that are looking to get into things, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really loved that Dane did this year, he teamed up with the YMCA and brought an esports tournament to the Midsummer Festival.
Yeah.
Which is so much fun because it just gets kids excited about that, but it's also a chance for him to tell his story.
Yeah.
What do you think right now, if a kid was watching this and they were unsure about what games to start playing, what do you think you would recommend for someone who's wanting to get into esports?
Okay, so that's a good question, because there's definitely a difference between esports in middle school and high school and esports in college. In college, you're going to play the Battlefields, the CODs, the games that are mature rated.
So mature rated, that means no Fortnite.
Well, Fortnite is actually rated T for teens.
Okay, good, because I could see somebody in some Fortnite.
Yeah.
My kids have been beating me up for years.
I know.
And now I'm finally good.
You got to walk the map. You just walk the map. You walk the map, the ring, you will get in the top 10 every time. Let everyone else fight, and then you just sit there, like I like to do, sit there and just wait for the last few people and snipe them. Okay, so a lot of the times when it comes to high school and middle school, they break it into 2 categories. So there's like Nintendo, because you can't play some of these Nintendo games on any other console. So like Nintendo has Mario Kart. Yeah. You got Super Smash Brothers.
Fun.
Which, if you don't know, that takes every character in Nintendo games and you can fight each other. It's kind of
amazing.
It's kind of like a Tekken, something like that, Street Fighter. And then they have with Splatoon, which is an interesting game. It's about obviously defeating the other team by painting the ground and having more paint on there.
Oh, yes.
And you're like little squid people, and you can actually swim in the ink on the ground.
Yeah.
These are all multi-platform games. So Rocket League,
Yes.
Valorant, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals is a new one in our program this year. Marvel Rivals. Those are a lot of like your team-based, fighting games. Every game we do in high school is rated teen or above. So you have to be 13 or older. In 7th grade, there is a 12-year-old every now and then, but we do have to get parent consent. And a lot of the games that are available to middle schoolers, you actually can't play anything 13 or older.
Right.
So like middle school this year is Super Smash Brothers, which is 10 plus. And then chess. We have chess too.
That's amazing.
That online chess.
That's great.
And that is an amazing game and one of the oldest games out there.
When I was in school, I've never learned. So I tried to learn chess.
Yep.
And I maybe know like the basics, right? Like I know some where you can put pieces on the board, right? But one of the ways I learned was by going online and finding like a chess against a computer and learning it that way. And I can't imagine if there were tools for me to play against somebody else online.
Yeah.
Where I don't have to depend on my local, school to have other chess players.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and I love what you said there is like you can go online and you can learn it. Like half of these games that you're playing, you just gotta get on and play. And like Valorant, Fortnite, chess, Rocket League, they're all free.
Yeah.
They're free to play games.
Yep.
You can spend money in it, but don't. Holdrege has actually gone to state every year in Fortnite for the past 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Last year they did like a battle royale in the sense of we had 13 schools drop into the map at once, 4 on each team. So, I mean, you're looking upwards of 50-some players, 70-some players, and it's like chaos.
That's amazing.
And you can't do that with any other game.
No. Yeah.
And I get it, it's virtual. I mean, there is, there's that, that fear, the exercise and stuff like that. I limit my practices because I know these kids are playing at home.
Right.
So our practices are about an hour and 15 minutes. And the point of these practices are 2 things. One, in those practices, depending on the day, you have competition.
Yeah.
The other thing is to, if it's a team-based game, to be played with your team, learning different strategies, learning where stuff is on the map, learning on your skill sets, your move sets.
Yeah.
Next season is more of like our shooter ones.
Yeah.
And I actually have partnered with, Amon Green used to be the esports coach in Lincoln.
Oh, really?
At the Lincoln esports program. And I was working with him last year, and he actually emailed me about the aimbot games and stuff like that, aim trainers.
Yep.
So you could get some of those, and I was going to incorporate some of that. And I also have very knowledgeable students. Landon Patterson, he is very knowledgeable like on Smash and Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah.
He does an amazing job helping and teaching as well. So
That's amazing. Kids that are doing esports now, how do you think that translates to the real world when they end up, even if they don't get a college scholarship, how do those skills transfer to the real world?
Well, we could go the extreme first. You ever piloted a drone?
Yeah.
That is playing a video game. You have your camera, your joystick, and all. It's true. And even look at the drones that you can play right now with on your phone, and you have your and it's right there. Now, if you want to talk practical skills, I have never seen so many kids think so strategically and fast on the fly.
Yes.
You want to talk about critical thinking skills, and I'm not talking like I'm going to sit for an hour and critically think. I'm talking like critical thinking in the moment.
Yeah.
Like I have to make a decision that's either going to win the game or lose the game.
Yeah.
You have sportsmanship.
Yes.
Both inwards and outwards.
Yeah.
There's ones where you have to pick your loadout,
Yeah.
what you're going to do, how you're going to navigate a map. I mean, let's be honest, as a guy, I'm not going to stop and ask for directions. You know why I'm good at finding it? Is because I played a lot of video games.
Yeah.
My wife and I were on a road trip to Kansas City. It was piled up. And I told her, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I saw when we stopped and got gas, there was a highway over there. I bet that highway takes us all the way. She's like, no, you're going to get us lost. I'm like, no, let's try it. She's like, no, you're going to get us lost. And I was like, well, if I get us lost, it'll be a good story.
Right.
That's a story in my favor. That took us straight over to Kansas City. I got back on the interstate, probably about 30 miles down. But guess what? I'm going to contribute that to video games, finding that alternative path, taking the offbeaten.
Yeah.
asphalt. It's simple things like that, is you learn these games aren't just built to go out and, just mess around.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of critical thinking skills and
a ton.
Yeah.
Watching my kids play Fortnite is awesome. Unless you play Fortnite, you're going to be lost for about 3 seconds here. But watching my daughter go from, somebody's trying to get her and she's building something and then she's sliding and then she's jumping and she's in a window and I'm like, in the 3 seconds you just had right there, how did you know
what to do?
Work, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know, I was freaking out. In her brain, she's like, I was just making it work.
Yeah.
But it truly is. It's a really good amount of hand-eye coordination and also just thinking that quickly.
Yeah.
And that does directly translate to real life because when you turn that game off, that brain doesn't shut off.
I have one of my boys, Oliver. He's a gamer. He'll be tried and true.
What's his favorite game?
Multiplayer Price Smash.
Oh, wow. I love that.
He is two-time champion of the YMCA esports, 8 to 10-year-old championship range. He's back-to-back now.
Wow.
He actually beat Breath of the Wild, and he was 5. I had to help him on a few things, but a lot of it he beat himself.
That's insane.
And you know what? I get it. Screens, I think as long as you have your parents monitoring it and making sure that that's not all they're doing, because Oliver will love to go outside and play with friends and that. I'm not letting him sit in there and play for, 5 hours a day.
Well, I tell people all this all the time. My mom used to joke that she had kids, so she had cleaning help,
Yeah.
And I think I make the joke of I had kids because I wanted some best friends. You know what I mean? And
Michael
those kids
Scott
are my absolute best friends, man.
Yeah.
So, that I don't know that the screen time argument is so much about when you're having screen time with your parents.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between pushing your kids into a room and being like, go watch TV or something.
Yeah.
But then when you're sitting there spending real actual time doing real critical thinking, real problem solving on some of these games. I know Breath of the Wild, you're solving problems.
Oh yeah, that's puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think we're at that age in our lives where it's hard to just say, I want to go out with the buddies and do this. And,
Right.
nothing against the guys that can do that, but like my friends are like, my wife, my best friend, and
Same.
my kids. I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Parent guilt. I go out and spend time. I could be at home playing with my boys or with my wife, and we even got my wife to play a couple times.
Oh, that's amazing.
She beat all of us in Mario Kart one time.
You and I talked about before this even started. We're like, hey, what time are we out of here? Because my kids are waiting.
Yeah.
That's important.
And Sammy's got football tonight and everything.
Yeah.
Like my thing with screens, and I just watched this on one of my YouTube podcasts that I like to watch, and he talked about screens and attention span, and what he said was, he told a story about a dad who wanted to go see what his kid was doing and why he always wanted to play video games, and his dad was always in his den reading, and so he went and played video games with his kid, and he was like, after 10 minutes, he's like, this doesn't interest me. Mm-hmm. So he goes back and reads, and his son gets up and goes over, and he's like, I want to see what's so interesting that my dad does. So he goes over and he starts reading. He's like, this just isn't for me. Well, why is it that the kid gets labeled as having a short attention span or ADHD or ADD, but the dad doesn't?
Right.
So is it really that, or is it a matter of interest?
Right.
If I'm not interested in something, I got a finite amount of time on this world. If I'm not interested in something, I'm not going to put my time and energy into it.
It's real. One of the things I wanted to ask you too, with all of the different facets you've been involved in the community, what motivates you to keep going? For example, you're on the board at the chamber. What motivates those types of decisions?
For the chamber, I love the fact that we are constantly, and I really should say like you, Lori, Deanna, like the board plays a big role, but you guys make the magic happen. You guys are constantly striving to bring the best and cultivate everyone. Yeah. You don't want to see a business hurt, so you help it succeed. And you need commerce, you need healthcare, childcare, you need your recreation, like your nonprofits that bring that stuff.
Yes.
I want my kids to grow up in Holdrege. So, I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here to stay. Why wouldn't I get invested?
Yeah.
It's that age-old thing is I only got so much time. Well, I see a reason to be on the board and help with the chamber. If I did not see a benefit there and believe in what you guys are doing, my time wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Same as like with Rotary. Like, yes, I want to be part of Rotary. I love what we do there. I think it's amazing. It's a great way to go and get your information out and help make some changes in the community.
I will tell you, we appreciate you being on the board.
You have been a breath of fresh air and a huge impact in the community, Adam.
I appreciate it.
I hope you know that. I'm sure you get told that, but I want to just tell you that, God, it's been amazing to have you here.
Thank you. That means the world to me. Thank you. What is your go-to lunch spot here in Holdrege?
Oh my gosh, it's a tie. Cozy, their burger sauce or their special sauce. Oh, magnifique, I love it. The other one is I love JB's crispy chicken ranch wrap.
I'd say Katrina's is probably my favorite lunch spot. What was the first job you ever had?
First job, believe it or not, it's gonna seem weird. I was a groundskeeper at Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska.
That's so cool.
I worked with a guy named Hank. He's about as Hank can be. Old, stubborn, like, we're gonna do it this way guy.
Yeah.
That was where I learned how to back up a trailer.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know what? It would have been a lot easier if we had these backup cameras back then.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I did grounds for a public school, and that's where I learned to back up a trailer. And I'm pretty good now, but yeah, I was no good when I started.
Yeah, you give me a backup camera, I'm good. Without it, no, I'm not.
Yeah. By the way, incredible.
Yes. Oh, yeah, if you get a chance, the Malibu Barbie.
I waited to finish that literally just to let you guys see, because that's amazing. Describe Holdrege in 3 words.
Badass place.
I love it.
I do. Holdrege is small enough to feel like that hometown, which it is.
Yeah.
But it also offers enough. Like our fiber. Sorry, I had to make a plug.
No, that's good.
Like our fiber that
really
gives you that big town, big city feeling.
One of my favorite parts of the Connect podcast is the last question.
Okay.
And I like to end every episode with, what's one piece of advice? It can be life, business, parenting, that you'd like to leave our listeners with.
Don't underestimate your community. And don't be afraid to ask. You could walk and step into the chamber to this day and be like, hey, I want to start this business. You, Lori, and Deanna will be like, let's make it happen.
Yes.
And I think it's Helen Keller that said it. Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. I probably butchered the quote.
If you're looking for the quote, go on the Holdrege Chambers page from earlier this year.
Are you serious?
I posted that exact quote. As soon as you said Helen Keller, I'm like, you're kidding. Glenwood's doing a great job. You are doing a fantastic job on all of your endeavors. I'm really appreciative for you sitting down with me.
Thanks for asking me to come.
Enjoying a martini.
Yeah, of course, I can't pass that down.
Yeah. You guys check us out next week. Thanks for joining us.